Hi there everyone, this is Scott. Welcome to your fourth week of class. Now this last week you've all been struggling with writing outcomes. That's something that I've seen on the boards that you're trying to deal with, and I want you to know it's hard. It's meant to be hard. It's going to be an ongoing challenge for you. In fact, what's going to happen throughout the semesters, you're going to come back and revisit those outcomes and change them and tweak them. And when we get to the final part of the class where you have to develop assessments for the outcomes, you end up spending a lot of time really thinking about those outcomes. And I'd say that's probably the biggest frustration for students in the class, in that you can't get the outcomes right now. You can't get them correctly right now. It's something that you're going to work with as the class goes on and you become better versed in what you're going to do with the outcomes, and you'll go back and revisit them. And so that's okay. It's okay you're frustrated with them right now. It's okay you're not really clear, because as the semester goes on, you're going to revisit and change as you learn more about how to deal with the outcomes. But really what to think about is they've got to be user-focused. Users will get blah out of it. They've got to be accessible. You've got to be able to measure what it is you're saying you're going to present as your outcome. And you need to think about these outcomes as being what the funders will value. So at the end, when you try and justify your library, in a public library situation, the taxpayers are going to say, well, you know, we can fund the police department, we can fund the fire department, we can fund the schools, we can fund the library. And having those assessed outcomes that are important to those funders are going to be key. So that's the other thing to think about, is keep asking, so what, until you get to an outcome that is something that's going to be important to the funders. If you can't reach that point, well, then that's where you start to question, is this service really worth pursuing? Is this what we want to do at a time with limited resources? If we can't justify why we're doing it in the eyes of our funders, then we have to question what it is we're doing. Anyway, you're working on your lit review now. That's going to be due on the 13th. It's coming up shortly. The whole point of the lit review, it's not like other classes where you're doing just this general blanket lit review on a topic. This lit review is very specific. It's designed to help you with your planning, marketing, and assessment documents you're going to be writing later on in the semester. That's the goal here, is to find literature to support those three areas in relationship to your service. Another thing to think about is make sure and think about the service. I've had some people get focused on a collection of books or a specific technology or a type of system and not bringing it back to the service. You got to think about the service. How is this technology, system, or collection making a difference to our users? And that's what you want to focus on, is the service, and that's what you're going to be able to write these accessible user-based outcomes about. So hopefully that helps you. If you're struggling with it a little bit, know that you're going to continue to struggle with it. It's okay. As far as what I'm up to, I'm actually off to Seattle this week. I'm going to the iConference. It's a conference of all the information schools, and I'm going to be doing a poster presentation on gaming and game education and game research in the iSchools. So I'll be up there. I will be checking in probably about once a day during the middle of this week, so I won't be on as frequently as I've been, but I will continue to check in. So good luck, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.